Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please join us today. Today we will be continuing the glories of DamodarAstakam. Happy Ekadashi to those in the Western world who are observing it, and in the Eastern world it will be tomorrow on 26th of November. This is Utthan Ekadashi, also known as Papamochini Ekadashi. Hare Krishna. Please join us for Guru Pranati. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatadaham vande Shri Gurum dīnataranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Please join us in singing along with DamodarAstakam. Hare Krishna. Shri DamodarAstakam ki jai. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So let's go with the translation now. Please start.
Translation of Shri DamodarAstakam, verse 1. To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokul, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed, to that Supreme Lord, Shri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances.
Verse 2. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Shri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokul in pools of ecstasy and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With such love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times.
Verse 4. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bal Gopal in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon besides this?
Verse 5 of DamodarAstakam. O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me.
Verse 6. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes.
Verse 7, DamodarAstakam. O Lord Damodar, just as the 2 sons of Kuver, Manigriv and Nalakuver, were delivered from the curse of Narad and made into great devotees by you, in your form as a baby tied with a rope to a wooden grinding mortar, in the same way, please give to me your own prem bhakti. I only long for this and have no other desire for any kind of liberation.
Verse 8, let's read it together. O
Lord Damodar,
I
first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes.
Shri DamodarAstakam ki jai. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So today we will be continuing the glories of Shri DamodarAstakam, this Damodar Leela, where we will be covering the 2nd verse today. And this was the mood as how some of the exalted devotees like Queen Kunti when remembering these pastimes, how they observed, that description has also been given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's read this. Quickly we'll cover the verse and the translation and then dive into the amazing pastime of Lord Damodar. Dam means rope and Udar is stomach. So Lord is bound by a rope and this rope is rope of love. So again, he is not bound by a rope but rather bound by the love of Mother Yashoda. That is the essence, and that's what we'll be discussing today. So I'll quickly cover that verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 31. Gopya adade tvai kartagasi dam tavad yate dashashu kalilanjana sambhramaksham vaktam niniya bhaya bhavanaya stitatasya samam vimuhyati bhir api yad vibheti. Now this can also be spoken in another meter. Gopya adade tvai katagrasi dam tavad yate dadashu kalilanjana sambhramaksham vakratam niniya bhai bhavanaya stitasya samam vimohyati bhir api yad vibheti. Gopi, the cowherd lady, Yashoda, Adade, took up. Now what did she take up? Tvai, on your katagrasi, creating disturbances by breaking the butter pot. And what did Mother Yashoda take up? Dam. Dam means rope. Tavat, at that time. Ya, that which. Te, your. Dasha, situation. Ashru Kalila, so overflooded with tears. Anjana, ointment. Sambhrama, perturbed. Aksham, eyes. Vaktam, face. Niniya, downwards. Bhaya bhavanaya, by thoughts of fear. Sthitasya, of the situation. Sa, that. Mam, me. Vimohyati, bewilders. Bhi api, even fear personified. Yat, whom. Vibheti, is afraid. Translation by Divine Grace, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear Kṛṣṇa, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflowed with tears which washed the mascara from your eyes, and you were afraid. Though fear personified is afraid of you, this sight is bewildering to me. So this is Queen Kunti, mother of the Pandavas. She is expressing her astonishment that Lord Kṛṣṇa, where fear personified is afraid of you, then you were running away by from Mother Yashoda after having created a mischief, and she caught you. And then she's explaining us how Mother Yashoda, just to teach you a lesson, just to control you from doing further mischief, she was binding you with the rope. But seeing the rope in her hand, you were crying and your eyes were perturbed, and the neck, which was ornamented with the pearl necklace, was shaking because of his quick breathing. That is siskya. When we were children and if we cry for a long time, there is this expression that comes in, that we are kind of like trying to breathe, but then our breathing, inhalation is interrupted because of the siskya, that effect that comes in, and that is the mood where Lord, he is, cleaning, means again, his hands, in his eyes, as the mascara is running down and the tears are coming out, and these tears are tears of fear. It's not the tears of happiness, it's the tears of fear. And why is this fear in his eyes? Because he is seeing that Mother Yashoda, she is holding a a rope, dam, and she is going to punish him. So that is very clear. And when we hear Damodar Leela, we also understand that Mother Yashoda, after having caught Kṛṣṇa, she was still holding a stick in her hand. And if you can see, means in this picture, it shows Mother Yashoda, seeing the stick, and as she catches Lord Damodar. And when she brings him near Urukula, the grinding mortar, she is still holding the stick, and then she sees that Kṛṣṇa is crying, he is afraid. So she immediately throws the stick on a side, understanding that my Lalla, Kanha, if he is so afraid, of me, then he may run away. So Acharyas explain that she is getting this feeling as a mother, and even though she knows that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, her Yogamaya has overcome her influence, so that Mother Yashoda truly believes that Lord Kṛṣṇa in his Kumar form, in his toddler form, is her son. So she is reciprocating as a mother that, oh, you committed mischief, and I am going to punish you. So today, in today's times, we call it time out, right? Teachers and parents sometimes give the kids who are creating a lot of trouble, throwing a lot of tantrums, to give them a time out. Well, this is where the time out started from. Mother Yashoda is the original mother who is giving time out to who? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa. And so she throws the stick aside because she doesn't want Kṛṣṇa to be afraid, but now she is holding a rope. And now Lord Kṛṣṇa, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom even the fear personified runs away in fear, he is afraid of the Supreme Lord. That Supreme Lord is having this wonderful pastime where he is showing real fear. It's not an imitation fear. He's really fearful of Mother Yashoda. And he knows that Mother Yashoda is going to bind him. So the sweetness of this pastime is that Mother is truly feeling that this is my son, not realizing that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because of her overflowing love for Lord Kṛṣṇa, she is in that mode, trying to take an action. And this is where she also realizes that she is churning the butter. She was churning the butter mainly for Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa, so that he enjoys. And she was not upset that Lord Kṛṣṇa was stealing butter by climbing onto the Urukula, the grinding mortar, or even distributing to the monkeys. She was trying to punish him for having broken the pot of yogurt that she was churning into butter. So for that mischief, she is punishing the Supreme Lord. And when she is looking at the Supreme Lord and seeing that he is crying in fear, she doesn't want him to be afraid. Yet at the same time, so having thrown the stick aside, she is calming him down as she decides to bind him. So she has this rope in her hand, and she tries to bind Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa, and every time she brings the rope around, it is short by 2 fingers. Now she is like, oh, I need more rope. She goes and gets more rope, and then she ties it to this rope, and when it comes around, again it is short by 2 fingers. So this is where Acharyas explain that Lord Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, no matter which form he is in. Even if he is appearing as a Balagopal, even if he is appearing in his Pauganda age, which is from 6 to 10, or even if he appears as his 11 to 16 years of age, which is Kumar age, or Navyavana age, which is 16 years and beyond. So even in any form and any time, when Lord Kṛṣṇa he appears, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how can you bind the unlimited? So that is being explained, that every time she is trying to bind, and she is getting more and more ropes, and she is tying it. And now Lord Kṛṣṇa, he is crying, so other gopis also, the Gopa boys and all of them, they are watching as how Mother Yashoda, she is trying to bind the Supreme Lord, but every time she brings the rope around, it is short by 2 fingers. And she is getting more ropes, and now she is perspiring, yet at the same time she is astonished herself. that how's this happening? While in this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Queen Kunti is showing her astonishment that Lord is fearful of Mother Yashoda. And she is, binding him while Lord is, crying at this time. And Queen Kunti is expressing that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how could you allow Mother Yashoda, the Gopi? So again in Bhagavatam, we do not see Mother Yashoda name being called out directly. Again, there is instant where in 10th canto, we see her name being called out again and again multiple times. But Radharani name is never called out. And in this prayers of Queen Kunti, she is not calling out Mother Yashoda by name. She is saying that Gopi, right? So that Gopi, she is binding you and you are fearful of her, seeing the rope in her hand. So that's an amazing, sweet pastime where she is realizing that this is a reciprocation that Lord is having with his devotee. But Queen Kunti's bhav is Aishwarya, Vatsalya bhav, right? So she is, that opulence is there. In Mother Yashoda, it is Madhurya mixed with Vatsalya. So again, she is as mother, in a loving mood, in that Madhurya, in that loving mood, she is binding the Supreme Lord. So even the mood of two personalities who are on a similar status, right, is differing tremendously. So they are completely different. And that's why Lord is also known as Bhav Grahi Janardana. He understands the essence in our heart, the mood with which we approach him. And accordingly, he reciprocates. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stateva bhajamyaham. As one approaches me, I reward them accordingly. However, he says that for my devotees, there is a different reciprocation. And Mother Yashoda is one of the topmost devotees. So for her, she is trying to bind the Supreme Lord. And he is not objecting, he is saying, okay, try binding me. And he is unlimited, while she is limited. So when she is trying to bind him, it's always coming short by 2 fingers. And she is adding more and more ropes. Now the Gopa boys, the cowherd boys, and the elderly cowherd ladies, all of them are, even the servants in the palace, they have all gathered and they are laughing. They are like, this is astonishing. She is adding long and long ropes to that rope, and it's getting longer and longer, but every time it comes around, it is short by 2 fingers. So Acharyas explain what do these 2 fingers signify. But before that, this is part of, breaking of the part, running away from Mother Yashoda, being caught by Mother Yashoda, and being bound by the rope. So this pastime that we are discussing is part of the Ashtakaliya Nitya Leela, the eternal pastimes. So these pastimes repeat again and again, and every time they appear in different flavors. So that is an amazing aspect. So in different universes, as Lord appears, these pastimes are appearing and they have been reenacted. And there is always, new flavor added, new, variations that cause the pastime to even get, newer and newer. They are being added. So here in this particular pastime, as she is trying to bind the Supreme Lord and is short by 2 fingers, so he is seeing that Mother Yashoda, she is perspiring heavily. There's, the drops of sweat on her forehead, and she is sweating heavily. And she is a, heavy-set woman. Yet at the same time, this is a lot of hard labor, trying to get more and more ropes, tying it, getting around the Supreme Lord. Now, interestingly, when she is taking it around the Supreme Lord, she knows that she can easily hold Lord Kṛṣṇa in her hand, right? She can easily pick him up in her lap. So her hands can easily go around him. Yet, when she is using the rope, it is falling short by 2 fingers. Short by 2 fingers. So that is an amazing aspect. And she is astonished at this. She is now smiling in her astonishment that how is this happening, that I cannot bind my Kanha, my Lalla, with such a long rope, while I can easily hold him with my 2 hands. So Acharyas explained that what do these 2 fingers represent? One is our endeavor. And then the second one is Lord's mercy. So only when we make a sincere endeavor, and also that endeavor results in Lord reciprocating, and we receive Lord's mercy, only then we can be successful in any endeavor that we take up in this material world or even in a spiritual world, because this is part of Ashtakaliya Nitya Leela, the eternal pastimes, the eightfold pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Now here Mother Yashoda is trying to bind, right? And then Lord Kṛṣṇa, he sees her endeavor, the hard endeavor she is taking on to bind him, to bind his belly with the grinding mortar. And at that time, he becomes merciful and allows himself, he is unlimited, to be bound by the limited size of the rope, but with unlimited love that Mother Yashoda carries for Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa. So that is, an unlimited personality is being bound by unlimited love. So that is the true essence. Yes, the media appears to be the rope, but it is the love of Mother Yashoda that binds him. So Acharya has explained that this pastime has happened many, many times. In another incident, when Mother Yashoda, she is trying to bind Lord Kṛṣṇa, and she is finding it very hard. And Lord Kṛṣṇa's mercy hasn't yet, awakened. He has not yet, given his mercy. At that time, Mother Yashoda looks at Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa, and suddenly she pays attention that he is wearing a, along with the pearl necklace, he is also wearing a tulsi necklace. And she takes that tulsi necklace. Now, this is amazing. She could have taken the pearl necklace, but on this occasion, she takes the tulsi necklace from his neck, and she ties that tulsi necklace to the rope. Now, that tulsi necklace is much weaker than the rope. Yet at the same time, Tulsi is the topmost devotee. She always seeks to serve the Supreme Lord. And when she uses this Tulsi necklace as part of the rope, Lord agrees to be bound, because now not just Mother Yashoda is binding him, it's also Tulsi who's helping her in binding him. So when devotees, we come together, collaborate with each other and we cooperate, right? Cooperate relates to operations. So operation is like when we are looking to perform an activity. And collaborate is we are laboring together. So we are seeking to help each other, in achieving a target. So they are very similar words. Collaboration enables, invocation of Lord's mercy. So here on this particular pastime, where she uses Tulsi mala, as part of the rope, Lord agrees to be bound, because it's not just Mother Yashoda is binding, it is also Tulsi that is helping Mother Yashoda to bind Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa, his stomach, his udar. So that's why Lord is called by the name Damodar in this particular pastime, because of this pastime that Mother Yashoda binds the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet at the same time, we can imagine how beautiful is the incident where it is said that his eyes are filled with fear and the necklace of pearls around his neck. So neck is where the three lies like a conch shell. His neck has three lines like conch shell and is shaking because of the quick breathing due to crying. So that is Siskiya. And he is bound by his mother's pure love. To that Supreme Lord Shri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. So says Sattvavrata, he is describing how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa, he agrees to be bound by the love of his mother, and how he is, enacting, participating in this sweet loving exchange. And the Nitya Leela continues, and afterwards, as we'll see in this particular incident in DamodarAstakam as is described, there is an occasional pastime that happens, but that will be in the 7th verse. And the Ashtakaliya Leela are continuously going on the 8 times during the 8 durations of the day. They are constantly being enacted, they are constantly being carried out. Now, sometimes people ask that how is it that, Lord Kṛṣṇa in his Kumar form, so does he grow up, and gets to the Pauganda age and then further grows up? So this secret has also been revealed. Absolute truth. Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is the absolute truth. One of the characteristics is his body and his spiritual, it's all spiritual, so his soul and his body is not different. And soul does not change. So how is it possible that we are seeing the Lord growing up in different ages? Acharyas explain that actually Lord does not change. To our vision, he is on Gokul, where he is eternally carrying out his eightfold pastimes with Mother Yashoda, Nand Baba during the different times of the day. And on different spiritual planets, Lord is existing in that age. So at that particular age, he does not grow older. Rather, he is carrying out his eternal pastimes. But to Mother Yashoda and Nand Baba, those pastimes are enacted. The eternal associates at different ages stay at their age as well, because they are in their spiritual bodies. And it is Lord Krishna who has unlimited forms. That particular secret is revealed in the last verse of DamodarAstakam, that I pay obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who displays unlimited pastimes. So to our vision, we may see, he is changing his age, but in reality, he doesn't. Rather, his another form seems to come in. One of the ways we can show is, it's a perverted example and analogy is, as we see like in the movie, the film is there, right? So it basically has static pictures, but then when you run them in a fast, across in a fast speed, more than 15 frames a second, so after that you seem to feel that the image is moving, while in reality the image is same. But Lord Krishna is also moving, he is carrying out his pastime, but his age is, that different ages are coming from different visions. So to our vision, those different ages are visible, so we think that he is growing older and older, going from Kumar age to Pauganda age, going from Pauganda, which is 6 through 10, to to a higher age, and then to Navyavana, which is 16 and more. And Lord Krishna's original form is said to be Navyavanamcha. So this is what we wanted to cover today in DamodarAstakam, and we will be covering as how the eightfold pastimes in the next class. So please do join us. And at this point, means again, what is most amazing is that Mother Yashoda, she has so much love for Lord Krishna, so much love that even though he is unlimited and he is unapproachable by the yogis, by the karmis, by the jnanis, yet by her love, by a bhakta, by a devotee, he is agreeing to be bound by the love of a devotee, because he sees the unlimited overflowing love, the pure love of his mother, Mother Yashoda. There is another sweet pastime where Mother Yashoda, when she and Nand Baba, they heard that Lord Krishna in Dwarka is performing great yajna. So Nand Baba said, he will need lot of milk, lot of yogurt, lot of ghee, clarified butter, so let's take all that. So along with the cowherd man, he gathered, on bullock carts, lot of such, milk, butter, yogurt, clarified butter, and so forth. And he took it. Now it's very interesting, because this message was brought to him by Devashi Narad. And Devashi Narad first said that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is performing this great yajna. When he said he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nanda Baba actually laughed, as if he is ridiculing Devashi Narad. He respects Devashi Narad, but he says he is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whenever there is lightning, Lalla used to jump in the lap of his mother, Mother Yashoda. So he really, they really feel, and that Lord Krishna is their baby, and he is, he gets fearful. So with that, they are really, because of the influence of Yoga Maya, they really feel that Lord Krishna is their baby. They are not feeling at all that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when devotees, other devotees, they express that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they simply laugh, remembering his sweet pastime. What is important is that they are constantly 24/7 remembering Lord Shri Krishna. There is not a moment that they forget Lord Shri Krishna. So that is the lesson we should take. That Lord has performed such beautiful pastimes which we can constantly just meditate on for hours and hours and discuss with each other. And this way devotees can derive great satisfaction and enjoyment, transcendental bliss. Hare Krishna. This is where we end the class. Please join us for Hare Nam. Okay, so today is Ekadashi everywhere. I heard that 20 is okay. It's Ekadashi everywhere. I was just informed. Hare Krishna. Hare Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri DamodarAstakam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Nitai Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.